So the big question is this: what is life like on tour when you're playing professional golf? Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's tough. That's the question, and this is the podcast that's going to give you the answer. Welcome to Tales of the Tour on Stock Shot Secrets. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Stock Shot Secrets and Tales of the Tour with my beloved wife, Lesley. Thank you, sweetheart, for being here today.
Yeah.
So as we left last time, for those who had kind of following the series, I was in Hawaii.
Without me.
Without you.
Rude. But dreaming about me the whole time while you were there,
right.
Thinking, I really should have brought my wife.
Yeah, especially to console me after I have a mud ball and miss getting into the Sony Open by a shot, which sucked because it was a long trip and it was expensive.
I think I was going to fly out had you made the qualifier.
Yeah.
I think we had discussed that.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
There was a couple gut-wrenching ones. Golf can really tear you up, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's definitely more. Obviously, Scotty Scheffler's on it currently when we're doing this. He's on a tear, and same with Nelly Korda. They just won like 5 in a row. But most times, golfers feel bad.
After the round.
Because you play bad more than good.
Well, yeah.
It's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that for amateur golfers, it's hard because, and that's also why I don't miss it. Like when people say, "Do you miss it?" Right? You know, a PGA Tour player will play good 10% of the year. The other 90%, you're like holding on and trying to figure it out. But I mean,
it's hard to miss when you're not making money.
Yeah, but even like when you're making money, like you still walk off the course and you're like, like I shot 70, but like I made a double and like I missed a 3-footer and and it just makes you feel like trash.
Yeah.
Which is why people are like, "Do you miss it?" I'm like, "What? Miss feeling like trash?" No, I'm good. Every day is good now, right? But I really do enjoy the process. Like I really enjoyed practicing today. So, all right, so
it's because you're not doing it for a living.
I know, doing it for the love of it.
Yeah.
Which I did do it for
leisure.
I always did love the game, but I just love the grind. Like
it's now leisure.
I love like practicing and the process and like.
When's the first time you started playing golf not for money and you could go out and have a beverage on the course?
The first beverage I think I had on the golf course.
You're probably like 28?
No, later than that. I didn't have a beverage as a professional on a golf course.
Yeah, because it was just never, like if you were practicing.
Yeah, people listening to that are like, "Yeah, what are you talking about? I do that every week." And I'm like, yeah, but like imagine showing up to your current job and be like, "You know what I'm going to do? Pour a bourbon right in the middle of the day." Which actually sometimes I do. But no, only on Fridays, maybe once.
Yeah.
But it's just...
You think that you're like your mid-30s by the time... Or
I think it was with Rich.
When you
like
stopped playing professionally.
I think it was with the guys at Chichesi, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of fun.
Which I've never played a round of golf in my life, so I wouldn't know about drinking on the golf course.
Right.
Like, it sounds like fun.
It's fun, right? Like you have 2, it's great.
Leisurely.
3, you're playing good. 4, whoa, now I don't care. But yeah, I think it was.
But would you say like if you go to play golf on a Saturday, which doesn't ever happen, but if you were like next week, would you get like a beer or a beverage?
Yeah. Depending on the audience, like where I'm at and what I'm doing, and who I'm with.
You're not playing next Saturday though, so I'm just letting you know.
I don't know if I said this on the podcast. I think I did. No, I didn't. I asked Lesley a couple weeks ago. I go, "Hey, sweetheart, like, the kids are getting older now, so like, you think I could go play like at 7 in the morning, not 7:30, be done at 10
Saturday?"
On a Saturday, she goes, "Yeah, we're getting pretty close for that. Probably another couple of years." And I'm like,
it's just because golf was work.
I get it.
It's just hard for me to see past that.
All right, we got to get back into the
All right.
All right, so we drive. I've played in California. We're driving back east.
No, we head to NCCA.
Oh yeah.
You just started working with Bender.
So we hadn't looked at it yet. So the Bender story, where this all kicks off is we play. You spend the day with Jay Moore or with Claire. Jay Moore and I play Orange Tree. Orange Tree in Orlando is like a really hard country club course. Super tight, like pretty tricky.
Were you just there for Academy Cup?
No, we didn't play there. We played Orange County.
Okay.
Hey guys, I hope you are enjoying this episode of the Stock Shot Secrets podcast. If you are enjoying it, be sure to like this episode. Be sure to subscribe so you can always see when they are coming out. And most importantly, if you would be so kind to be able to share this podcast with other passionate golfers who are trying to get better and build stock shots, because it grows through you sharing it. Thank you so much for tuning in. And now back to Stock Shot Secrets. And really difficult golf course. We play 9 holes, and Jay Moore is amazing and a really good player, but I wax him that day and shoot 31 on this. We play 9 holes.
Okay.
And then we drive from Orange Tree to Bender.
Was Jay Moore
He was a Bender.
He was a Bender.
Yeah, he's the one that kind of formulated the relationship. So I go up to Mike, and I remember seeing Mike, and I'm just like, the thing that was with Mike that made Mike so much different, I've worked with so many coaches.
Yeah.
Is that Mike had an answer. There was 2 things about Mike. Mike had an answer for every single question.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer that he would do, it was kind of like Jesus teaching out of the Bible. Like, everything was done in parable. So I'd be like, what about, like, he'd be like, so this is what you need to do, and this is what you should do, but here is why you need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, so, like, if he was up to the top, he'd be like,
you
hey,
like the why.
I like the why, because then if I know the why, then I can buy in. And everyone who's in our ecosystem, which you are, because you're listening to this, understands that, like, I spend a lot of time in indoctrinating our students as to what is truth. So if he was like, yeah, like, you need to have your arms, like, your hands go at a straight line to the ball. And I'd be like, why? He goes, well, like, you want your hands to go fast, and it's the fastest distance between 2 points is a straight line. I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's like when little kids are like, why? But why?
Yeah.
Why?
Ugh. But so everything he would do, there was always the why, and it wasn't because I had to ask the why. He would just tell me the why.
Yeah.
So now what that did for me is I was like, this is like the way, the truth, and the life. Like this, I figured out the riddle, right, of like what it is of building a stock shot.
Mm-hmm.
And from that, like the first lesson I got, which is nearly almost the same thing I'm working on now, and this is in 2011,
mm-hmm.
right, was like the concept of zone poles, which we don't need to get into right now because you don't care. But the other thing was like keeping my back to the target and firing my arms. But the beauty was, and then we can kind of get into the NCA, is that after learning that stuff, and we spent 3 days together, like I spent, my life savings at the time on this thing. It was validated because when I went with Mike, he was like, hey, you're probably going to start playing really, really good. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, the ball's always going to be playing offense and working towards the flag. Like, this is that stock shot that Jack Nicklaus talked about. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is it, right?
You've arrived at the stock shot.
And then was the weekend we went to NCA, which was at Hammock Beach Resort, which is an incredible
great resort.
Right?
Beautiful right there, Palm Coast.
We can talk about that here in a second. But like that week I went and shot 23 under in 36 holes, which was just like in a pro-am, which was just like blacked out.
Yeah.
Like it was just like birdie, birdie, birdie,
mm-hmm.
birdie, birdie, birdie. And I was like, this Bender, and he was there. Was he there? He wasn't there. He wasn't there that year. But I was playing with Terry, and I was like, I'm gonna be a millionaire tomorrow.
Yeah. Millionaire. I always remember going to NCCA and thinking, oh my gosh, my husband, he's a golfer. Like, I just was like really proud of you being there. Like, you were the pro with your group.
Yeah.
How many years did you win NCCA? A couple?
I won every year that I was there. I got second 1 year out of like 6 years.
Impressive.
But it was
great organization.
So good. So it's NCCA, for those that don't know, it's the National Christian College Athletic Association.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like little smaller schools, right? Like Anderson University and Trinity and so on and so forth. And they really, what's great about them, what stands out the most to me about that organization is, one, not saying coaches don't care, but like those coaches are kind of coaching for a different, like where I'm coaching
purpose,
for. They're reading for a different purpose. I always say that like golf works on you more than you work on golf.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same idea. They kind of use golf as the conduit to like help form the character and, form the hearts of the players they have. But then they would always do those community service projects.
Mm-hmm.
At the national championship, which is like, hey, we're gonna go compete, but like really quick, let's go serve some people. Which is really, really cool. And then they would take care of us.
Yes,
like,
we felt like we were like king and queen on that tournament.
Because they would take care of all the room and board, and we would be like, we had been
food was taken care of,
like quality inns and whatever.
Not so much quality. Holiday Inns.
Holiday Inns, maybe.
Yeah, Expresses.
We should have got points back then.
We were not thinking.
What were we doing?
Because we love our travel points now.
Yeah.
We ride or die by travel points. But what were we thinking?
I don't know.
I didn't even use credit cards. We did not use credit cards back then. We just straight up used our checking account. So not smart. I'm going to put that on you because you were running finances at that time.
Now Lesley runs all the finances.
Is why
she fixes the Jeeps, fixes the car, fixes the house, runs the finances, runs the HR, and I'm the dancing monkey on the TV. So
it's working.
It's working. So let's stop there. We'll come back to another episode of Stock Shots Secrets with Tales of the Tour. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like this, subscribe to it, and if this is, might work for somebody or not work for somebody, but if someone would enjoy this episode, be sure to share it with a friend, and we'll see you guys back here for another episode of Stock Shot Secrets. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to the latest episode of the Stock Shot Secrets. Now, I want to give you a special opportunity where you and I can chat individually by just simply texting the following number, and you can ask any question under the sun about anything relative to your game or your skill, body, mind, whatever it is. So just text me at 614-541-1988. That's 614-541-1988. Subscribe to our text line, and then you can be in the special Stock Shot community where we can talk about everything under the sun regarding stock shots.